Identified what you're going to set aside on a monthly basis, the other question you need to be asking yourself is now, what do I do with what I set aside? So, for instance, you earn 100,000 naira per month. You've decided to set aside 30%, that is 30,000 naira. Will I just leave it in my savings account, or what are the options that are available to me? On the basis of the next 1 month, we will go through each and every of the options that is actually available. You can put it in a savings account, you can put it in a fixed deposit, you can put it in a mutual fund, you can buy some equities, or you could even put a portion of it in cryptocurrency. So the options are unlimited as to how you can ensure that you're earning the maximum value for your money. Another thing we also need to look out for is the inflation. Inflation as at November was 15.91%. So definitely, what is the inflation telling me? So for instance, let's say you used to buy X amount of things with 100 naira. Inflation is telling you that because the rate is 15.91%, that means that you now need 115 naira 91 kobo to buy the same item you were buying with 100 naira. So basically, it's ensuring that you are retaining the purchasing power of your money, so that in 5 years to come you can still do the same things you were able to do with that same money 5 years ago. And that's why we need to always pay attention to what the inflation rate is saying. So whenever we're doing our savings and we're setting money aside, we need to ensure that it is on the absolute minimum above the inflation rate. And definitely I'll give you all the other options that is available for that. So number one, we set aside what we're going to put aside on a monthly basis. Number two, we evaluate the options of how we are going to invest or save this money that we've identified to set aside. You must remember that this can be automated. You don't need to always wake up at the end of the month and running around of how I can put this money under my bed or wherever else. You can actually instruct your bank or automate it to always set aside this amount of money. Then number three, after we've considered inflation and also the investment options, the other thing is budget tracking. It's you could have decided to set aside 30% on a monthly basis, but guess what? Maybe you're actually being very lax. Maybe you could actually do 50% because you're not tracking your expense. So you actually need to create a budget. On a monthly basis, you write it down. It's going to take me X amount of money to go to work every day. It's going to take me Y amount of money to eat at work every day. You write it down, or the kids will need this. So you detail your monthly expenses, and in order for a budget to be useful to you, you need to be able to track it. So you're detailing what you want to spend, that is your budget, and number two, you have to track it. Once again, this can be automated. Are you aware that there are lots of expense tracker apps available on the Play Store? So you definitely just download it and you link your card to it. And whenever you're withdrawing a cash amount, you also explain in the cash amount what you spend the cash on.